مَثَلُ نُورِهِ, the parable of his light, كَمِشْكَاتٍ فِيهَا مِصْبَاحٍ, is that of a niche which contains a wall. So imagine a hollow in the wall, that's a niche. It has like a shelf to place lamps on in traditional houses. Al-misbahu fi zujaja, the lamp on that shelf in the hollow in the wall, in the niche, is kept in a crystal. So in order to focus the light, there is a glass that surrounds the light. The lamp is surrounded by a glass. الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري يوقد من شجرة مباركة. The crystal, the glass around it, is like a brightly shining star. يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة. The lamp itself is kindled with the oil of a blessed olive tree. لا شرقية ولا غربية, neither from the east nor from the west. So the imagery that is created is the imagery of the heart. The heart itself sitting in the niche, which is the chest, the shelf, the diaphragm that forms the base. The heart is, the walls of the heart are the glass walls. And the content, or what is inside of the heart, is that light. That light that relates straight to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِن رُوحِي, remember. Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. This is your gnosis of Allah Himself. This is the ahsani taqweem that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala formulated human beings upon. This is the fitrah. Fitrah Allahi allati fatara an-nasa alayha. This is the fitrah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the human beings upon, that has this intimate relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, as far as a lamp is concerned, its light is only going to shine as bright as the clarity or the cleanliness or the purity of the glass that surrounds it. The glass surrounding the lamp is required to be kept clean. So although every human being has this light inside, how much this light shines forth depends on how clean the glass is. And so we find in various places in the Quran, as well as in the Sunnah and the Hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how this heart is referred to, or the cleanliness is referred to. كَلَّا بَلْ رَانَ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ, for example, in Surah Mutaffifin, that they have this rust, that they have this collection, this debris, this dirt, this darkness. In a hadith we find the word that there's a blot, a dark spot that appears on hearts when they engage in sin. So what is sinfulness doing? What is activities, selfish, sinful, hurtful activities, what are they doing? Is that they are darkening those walls. The light becomes more and more imperceptible. It is not felt, it's not personally experienced. Forget about it shining forth, it giving light out externally. Even to experience that light internally becomes next to impossible. And so any activity which seeks to cleanse that heart is looking to access that inner potential, that inner divine potential. That potential that relates straight to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That potential, how do you measure, or what's the standard? So for example, Surah Qaf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَذِكْرَى لِمَنْ كَانَ لَهُ قَلْبٌ أَوْ أَلْقَى السَّمْعَ وَهُوَ شَهِيدٌ. After all the reminder that the surah gives, it says that in all of this is a reminder, لِمَنْ كَانَ لَهُ قَلْبٌ, for the one who has a heart. What does that mean? The one whose heart is open, accessible, clean. For them, that resonance with the Quran is it's very, very immediate. It's very overwhelming. It is immediately felt. It is completely resonant. أو ألقى السمع وهو شهيد. If you're not at that place, if it's not as clean, if so many different influences and habits that follow those influences have darkened that heart, then in the very least pay attention. Pay close attention, listen carefully, intently, with effort. There's an effortful attention that has to be paid when the heart's not all that clean. Whereas the flow is quite natural, or you're in a flow state. It doesn't feel effortful. It doesn't feel like a struggle. That relationship with the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is inside the heart and the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they're homies. They're from the same source. And so for that reason, there is that resonance.